While the legendary Titanic took several hours to slowly sink into the ocean depths, the terrifying fate of the Andrea Doria was sealed in just 11 catastrophic minutes, leaving hundreds of unsuspecting passengers completely frozen in sheer horror as a sudden, unimaginable nightmare unfolded. Welcome to Sunken Inside. Before we step into the shadows of this tragic night, please note that the visuals in this documentary are not fictional AI fantasies, but highly accurate historical reconstructions created using advanced artificial intelligence technology based strictly on true historical facts. These images are carefully designed to bring buried history back to life. In July 1956, the Andrea Doria stood exceptionally proudly as the absolute grandest symbol of Italian pride, serving as a breathtaking floating art gallery designed with unmatched luxury, elegance, and profound beauty. Sailing confidently across the vast North Atlantic toward New York City, she safely carried over 1,700 unsuspecting souls on board, fully equipped with the most advanced marine radar systems and highly innovative watertight safety compartments currently available in the mid-20th century. This incredible engineering led leading maritime experts and the general public alike to firmly believe she was virtually unsinkable against any threat. However, as darkness fell on that fateful Wednesday evening, a deadly combination of human error and blinding natural elements began silently aligning. As the Andrea Doria neared the coast of Nantucket, Massachusetts, a dense, blinding blanket of ocean fog suddenly enveloped the calm waters. Visibility dropped to near zero, forcing Captain Piero Calamai to reduce speed slightly while continuously sounding the ship's loud automatic warning foghorn. Meanwhile, sailing from New York directly toward northern Europe was the Swedish liner Stockholm, a steel-hulled motor vessel built for ice. Commanded by Captain Gunnar Nordenson, the Stockholm was traveling through clear night skies, completely unaware of the thick fog bank lying directly ahead. At around 10:30 p.m., both ships suddenly picked up each other's glowing blips on their primitive mid-50s marine radar screens. However, 1950s radar technology could not automatically display a vessel's true heading or exact speed, forcing officers to manually estimate courses. On the bridge of the Andrea Doria, Captain Calamai carefully observed the oncoming vessel, approaching on his starboard or right-hand side. To give her more room, Calamai ordered a minor course correction to the left, planning a smooth starboard-to-starboard passing maneuver. Conversely, on the Stockholm, Third Officer Johan Karstens Johansson wrongly calculated that the Italian liner was approaching on his own left side instead. Following standard maritime rules for a port-to-port pass, he ordered a sharp turn to the right, unknowingly steering his vessel straight toward the oncoming Andrea Doria, creating a deadly, intersecting collision course directly inside the thick, dense, and impenetrable ocean fog blanket. Because both captains were operating under completely different tactical assumptions, every frantic second was now rapidly drawing them closer to absolute disaster. At 11:09 p.m., the glowing running lights of the Stockholm suddenly punched through the thick fog wall, appearing terrifyingly close. On the bridge of the Andrea Doria, Captain Calamai looked out in sheer shock and helplessly shouted, "She is coming at us!" With only precious few seconds remaining until total impact, Captain Calamai frantically ordered hard left rudder and maximum engine speed to escape. But it was too late to change the course of history, as the two massive ocean liners collided with a deafening metallic roar. The Stockholm's ice-breaking bow, heavily reinforced with solid steel, sliced deep into the unprotected starboard side of the beautiful Italian liner. Penetrating nearly 30 feet into the Andrea Doria's hull, the violent collision instantly crushed several passenger cabins located on the lower decks, causing immediate death and severe injuries to sleeping passengers who never even had a single chance to comprehend the unfolding maritime disaster. The tremendous impact tore open a massive gaping wound below the waterline, piercing through 5 critical fuel tanks and tearing them apart. As millions of gallons of ocean water rushed into the breached hull, the Stockholm slowly scraped away, leaving its mangled bow behind. Within just 3 minutes of the catastrophic collision, the Andrea Doria began to list dangerously to its damaged starboard side instead. The ship's advanced design was supposed to limit any listing to 15 degrees, but the massive intake of water ignored all calculations. As the tilt quickly surpassed 20 degrees, unsecured heavy furniture, grand pianos, and luggage began sliding violently across the luxurious lounges. Panicked passengers, suddenly awakened by the violent shudder, scrambled out of their dark beds into pitch-black hallways filled with thick, toxic smoke. With the main electrical generators severely damaged by the heavy flooding, the ship's emergency lights cast a faint, eerie, terrifying glow. Terrified screams echoed through the listing corridors as families desperately tried to find each other in the confusing, disorienting subterranean maze. On the upper decks, the situation was becoming increasingly desperate as Captain Calamai realized the ship was taking on too much water. He immediately ordered the crew to prepare the lifeboats, completely unaware that the severe list had already created a fatal flaw. Because the vessel was tilting at such an extreme angle, the lifeboats on the high port side were completely rendered useless. With half the lifeboats completely out of reach, there was only enough room on the remaining boats for half the souls on board. More than 1,700 terrified passengers were trapped on the rapidly tilting ocean liner in the extremely dense, freezing Atlantic night fog. Desperate distress radio signals were urgently broadcast across the dark Atlantic waters, pleading for immediate rescue assistance from all nearby sailing ships. Despite suffering severe front bow damage, the Stockholm bravely remained at the tragic scene, launching her own available lifeboats to help survivors. On the Andrea Doria, frightened passengers carefully climbed down slippery rope ladders in total darkness toward the waiting starboard side lifeboats below. Elderly passengers and vulnerable small children struggled immensely on the severely sloping decks, slipping uncontrollably as the ship tilted even more precariously. Miraculously, a young girl named Linda Morgan was thrown directly from her cabin onto the Stockholm bow, surviving the violent impact unharmed. Hearing the frantic distress calls, the French ocean liner Île-de-France immediately altered her course, rushing heroically through the thick fog. Arriving dramatically at the tragic scene, the illuminated French ship turned on all her bright floodlights, casting a warm beacon of hope. Captain Raoul de Baudian expertly deployed 10 lifeboats, coordinating a massive rescue operation that saved over 700 grateful survivors that night. Other courageous rescue ships joined the coordinated effort, turning a potential disaster into the greatest successful rescue mission in civilian maritime history. Tragically, 46 lives were lost on the Andrea Doria, yet over 1,600 people were successfully rescued before the ship sank. As dawn broke, Captain Calamai reluctantly agreed to abandon his beloved vessel, after ensuring every surviving passenger was safely off the ship. At 10:09 a.m., exactly 11 hours after the collision, the Andrea Doria slowly rolled over and sank beneath the surface. Settling 240 feet below on the sandy Atlantic Ocean floor, the grand vessel became a silent, permanent underwater tomb. Today, the deteriorating wreck of the Andrea Doria is widely known among advanced scuba divers as the ultimate Mount Everest of diving. Resting in deep, dark, and highly unpredictable waters, this treacherous underwater site presents immense challenges. including powerful currents and tangled fishing nets. Tragically, over the decades, more than 20 brave divers have lost their lives attempting to explore the legendary, heavily decaying Italian liner. The haunting story of the Andrea Doria remains a profound, timeless reminder of human error and the ocean's absolute, unforgiving power. Thank you for watching Sunken Inside. Please subscribe to our channel for more deep historical journeys into the ocean's greatest hidden secrets.